Hello, this is for care and prevention of athletic injuries. This is chapter 3 from the 6th edition textbook. And then we'll cover chapter 15 from the 6th edition textbook. So keep in mind that this is the 6th edition if you have the wrong edition in front of you. But chapter 3 is over the law of sports injury. Chapter 3, my main talking point is going to be about negligence. Okay. Negligence has 4 components, and the first is duty. So if a person does not have the duty to do something, for example, a coach has the duty to stay after practice till all of his student athletes have gone. This is at the secondary level. The coach has a secondary level and lower. So we're dealing with minors. The coach also has a responsibility to teach about certain things like nutrition and teach proper technique, teach proper hydration, teach anything that goes on with their sport. This is at secondary and college. So you have to teach about nutrition and teach about, like I said, protecting themselves from heat exhaustion and heat stroke, especially if you have an outside sport. Teach about nutrition as far as the importance of eating a proper diet. Simple, basic things like the job of carbohydrates is to make energy is what we use to make energy. The brain cannot store glucose, so we have to have a steady supply. The importance of fat, what fats play a role in our diet, good fat versus bad fat. Protein, the job is to rebuild. Also, if you're doing any supplementation, you educate your athletes about the need for more water if they're on protein supplements or any supplements, more water if they're taking any kind of medications for any reason, even if it's just acetaminophen or antibiotic. The importance of rest. You also teach those the importance of staying away from things like energy drinks, and it's also important for you to stay on top of what's going on with your athletes. Meaning, if there's a new drug out there that they can get their hands on, one of the newest things, of course, is energy drinks, and athletes are drinking energy drinks before they go participate in practice or sport or game, and that's causing them seizures, causing them heart attacks because of the ingredients in an energy drink. They're also drinking them at home on their own, having the same problems. They're drinking them as if they were juice, eating a sandwich or eating, just a lunch meal at home, and drinking the energy drink as their drink, as if it was, like I said, juice or pop. And so those are very unhealthy. So those are some of the jobs of a coach. So to keep them out of negligent issues. But negligence has duty is the first thing. The next thing is breach of duty. So because the coach had the duty to do A, B, and C, the duty did not do one of those 3 things, and that is breach of duty. Next thing is, so we have duty, breach of duty, proximate cause, and damages. Those are the 4. Duty, breach of duty, proximate cause, and damages. Okay? 4 things for negligence. Because the coach had a duty, did not do that duty, he breached it, that was the cause for damages. Gotta do it again. The coach had a duty, they breached that duty. Because they breached that duty, there were damages. Now, damages could be, I could go with my first example, leaving the kids at school when their mothers or ride is trying to come pick them up. You leave them there unattended, and the school gets vandalized. Well, because the coach left the athletes unattended, all right, there was damages to the school. So the coach could be liable for those damages along with the child and their parents. If there's no damages, then there's no negligence. You have to have all 4 to have negligence. You can't have 3 out of 4. You have to have all four. So if the coach left the athletes and nothing happened, then that is not negligence. If the coaches left the athletes there by themselves and their ride came and picked them up and they went home, there was no damages, so that's no negligence. If the coach did not have the duty to perform, then the coach is not negligent for anything. All right? So you have to know your scope of practice as a coach or whatever you're practicing. If you're an athletic trainer, a coach, a volunteer coach, you're still held under those four things of negligence because you put yourself in that position. Okay? So that's basically chapter 3 from my perspective. You still need to read it and understand things like tort, assumption of risk, contributory negligence, what else? How to keep yourself out of court. That's a big list for coaches. Documentation will be your biggest thing that you do. You document injuries. You document what you do to them. You need to have an emergency plan, which is in chapter 7 of the 6th edition. So if there's a weather issue or there's a catastrophic injury like a broken neck or a possible broken leg or asthma attack, you need to have an emergency plan in place that you practice at least once a year, and run by your AD and give it to your AD, and they can run it through the legal channels to make sure everything is covered. So just to recap, you have negligence in the 4 components. You know what a tort is. You need to know what contributory negligence, comparative negligence, assumption of risk, act of God. You need to know what the coach's liability is and how to reduce your chances of going to court. The first one on the list is documentation. Okay? But there's a list of 9 things. All right? And that's it for chapter 3.